So just a quick review of the water cycle. This should be something that you already know quite well. I want to make sure that you are able to distinguish the features of the water cycle. Don't forget, water is made up of 2 hydrogens and 1 oxygen. And the water cycle is essentially the process of taking water from the surface of the earth up to the atmosphere and back to the earth. Okay, so there's 2 ways that we get the water into vapor. So from liquid water, heat from the sun goes down and heats up the liquid, and it becomes a vapor or a gas. So it goes from the liquid form to the gas form, and that is called evaporation. Okay. And vapor is right in that word. And another way that we get water into the atmosphere is when plants actually are working hard to make food. One of the products of that is water vapor, and we call that process transpiration. Oops, there's an N in there. And it's sort of like when you perspire, water is evaporating from your body and plants transpire. So we've got water vapor up in the atmosphere, and then it gets up high where it's really cold up here. And when water vapor condenses or cools off, it actually turns back into a liquid. So we call this process up here condensation, and that's sort of like what happens on your mirror in the shower. The water vapor from your hot shower hits the cold mirror and condenses. That just means it goes from very spread out vapor to a very close together liquid form. So we get liquid up here. And don't forget, it's cold up here, so most of that liquid will freeze into ice. Then we have a cloud that forms because a piece of dust has allowed all of the condensed water to come together into one place. The cloud gets filled up because lots of condensation is taking place, and then we end up with precipitation, which is water going back to the earth. Okay, and you should know the 4 forms of precipitation: rain, sleet, hail, and snow, and what conditions cause that. And then, of course, we have percolation, where the water goes into the ground and possibly down into our aquifer. And we also have runoff, where it goes back into our water sources. So you should understand this cycle in much more detail than I've explained it, but basically you have to understand that plants transpire and water evaporates to come up into the atmosphere, cools off, and condenses. The condensed water forms a cloud because of a dust particle that allows them to come together, and then the water comes back to the earth by precipitation.